Welcome to Battletech Blades of Honor, Season 2, Episode 1, 3047. This level of energy is what we're bringing in. I guess so. Yes, flatly. We're bringing all of the energy you were hoping into a new season. We open with a giant billboard that has the face of a red-haired Japanese man wearing a business suit pointing directly out towards the viewer that says, "Top dog. We can't get you out of your arrest, but we can get you the shortest possible sentence. We know who to gift. Contact us now at 1-800-TOP-DOG." We hear the sound of a garbage truck, an enormous engine passing underneath the billboard. The camera turns down to follow it along the street. The garbage truck stops, and several men wearing full hazmat suits get off in a just regular residential area of townhouses to pick up the garbage along the street and dump it down in the pre-dawn darkness of Hongetsu Bay. One of the garbage men moves to a dumpster and gets it in position for the forklift arms to grab it and dump it back in. And as he's going in there, he slaps something on the inside of the indents that the forklifts go into. Dumpster dumps, the garbage truck and the men go away, and several minutes later, through a little like fast forward of, like cherry blossoms falling, the sun rising slightly in the background, the shadows getting elongated, we see Hiro and Poe casually walking. It's no surprise to see Hiro looking around, acting as if he's patrolling in the sort of pre-dawn and dawn morning. As a samurai, this sort of thing is done occasionally. Poe looking a lot more uncomfortable in a uniform of a former mechanic. The large, flak jacket overcoat and a huge bulge that indicates he's carrying some sort of firearm underneath his left shoulder. He's just looking around skittishly, watching Hiro's back as Hiro goes into the dumpster and pulls out an ISF mission briefing file for himself that his handler has had left for him. Hiro, as you open up your new orders, you find that there is a mission that they are activating you for. The ISF would like you to infiltrate the local military government. They seem to find your recent interaction with the military governor of Kaznajoi Prefecture, Shosho Brigadier General Eisen Hughes, to be a good thing, and they would like you to work with him, make it seem as if you are having problems with your lord, which of course you and the rest of the Blades of Honor are having problems with your lord, so not going to be that difficult. And to get on General Hughes' staff and just wait for further orders. Become a trusted member of his inner circle. There are questions as to the loyalty of some of the people surrounding him. Poe, not knowing that you're working for the ISF, although at a meta level, we know that Poe is actually your ISF handler. But here he's just looking around you told me to watch your back. Something interesting in that dumpster over there? Just looking around up and down the street.
Oh, I found what I was looking for. We can go now.
Oh. Okay. The two of you continue your patrol for some time, just keeping a watch out for hoodlums and yakuza, but it turns out that street crime has actually dropped off dramatically in the last few months. Some people say that the boss had a big change of heart. He's been acting quite differently lately.
It's been months and nobody knows.
It's been 6 months. It's now spring of 3047 and nobody knows yet. You and Poe get back to the vehicle you arrived here with. Poe is like breathing into his gloves and is just like, okay. Well, the blackjack's set for, trials later today. I know that they've got that thing down there at the hotel with the casino going in. Is there anywhere you want me to take you? Anywhere you want to go?
Are those two things mutually exclusive? Sorry.
No, they're going to be happening throughout the day.
Okay. No, I think we're in town. We may as well make use of our time here. I wonder if I've got time to check in with Detective Hiro before.
I can drive you down to City Hall.
Why
So
not?
we get the helicopter drone cam as two of you peel out and head towards the city center along the river. And
Don't we have like the Indiana Jones like red line across the map as we,
No, because what we're doing is no.
Da-da-da.
What's happening is the drone is instead going to the Genji house on top of the mountain south of the spaceport, and we can see that harder times have come here. Your dad isn't present. There are fewer staff than normal. There are a lot of tattooed gentlemen in black suits and cheap sunglasses walking around. And the strain on your house's finances from having your baron essentially steal your arms business from you as punishment for your reckless actions has hurt your above the table cash flow. On the other hand, your mom's position as the new boss of bosses for the local area is bringing in the sort of under the table spending at ridiculous amounts. She truly has raided the treasury of the Yakuza to improve her personal lifestyle, turning her wing of the household into something like a palace.
So is it the situation where like the Shogun has openly punished us, and even though we're kind of thriving, we want to keep up the appearances
You want to
that
keep
we're
up
punished.
the appearances you're being punished, yes.
We're paying our penance.
Right. And
Okay.
also, importantly, no one knows that your mom is secretly the boss and that you're secretly the enforcer. Or that
Right.
you even belong to the Yakuza. It's no one is shocked to hear that your mom is a Yakuza member. The fact that you have a fresh tattoo across your back would be surprising to anyone who met you, including Hiro.
Right. Okay.
You're eating caviar out of cheap china? No, you got to get those Dixie plates,
Yeah.
And you're machine washing the Dixie plates as well to reuse
I
them.
just I want everyone to know Andrew's first chat that he sent when Arthur was telling the story of you pan up on the Genji household and it's on fire.
Yeah. That's not what happened.
and the Oath of Endosteel mechs are marching around on top of your yard.
You are in your father's study, of which many of the artifacts have been removed, your father having taken it with him, contemplating several messages you received at the same time. Financial reports as to the health of your house look quite bad on paper. You're starting to run up debts. Like, you literally have no income because your house's not only primary but only business has been taken from you. You made big plans to like expand the business, reach out to Nissan Fusion engines. Those plans all on hold. Like, even if you went through with them, the person benefiting that would be the Shugo, not yourself.
I can't start a new business.
I mean, you
Like-
could, but what money are you going to start it with?
Right. Okay.
But
I mean,
on top
Yakuza
of
money,
that,
obviously.
You've been busy working for your mom, and she has a new set of orders here for you. That's on your right side. At your right hand, there's her new set of orders, and on your left hand, there is the field report that your staff, the people who work for you here at the manor, have compiled trying to track your father. He has been moving around the planet constantly, visiting old friends, staying as much out of the public eye as possible. But paradoxically, he's been releasing, some people call it subversive literature. It's poetry and recollections. Some of it is even like him lecturing vocally, but it's not clear what stance exactly he's taken. A lot of it is questioning the purpose of serving a military when there is no enemy to fight. Right? Like the last conflict he fought in, the War of 3039, was almost a decade ago and didn't last very long and was an overwhelming victory that barely touched Valentina. Like there was almost no fighting on Valentina. It's a world that only really suffers the occasional raid. And he is writing and questioning, like, what is my purpose now as a warrior, as a former warrior, on a world that doesn't need to maintain a huge military and yet still does. And some of his thoughts are like extrapolating that to the whole Draconis Combine, that like they have fewer enemies than people would assume, and that there will be fewer conflicts in the future than people assume. That the way policies are shining out, big political blocks are being formed, and peace will reign.
What year is it?
3047.
Oh, if you only knew.
He only knew that in 3 to 4 years, there would be a really big event, and he's on the exact wrong side of the inner sphere to experience it, and also, again, retired.
Right. So he's become Uncle Iroh in the White Lotus, is what I got from all that.
I don't know that that's specifically... I guess that's not a bad way to look at it, but I certainly wouldn't say he's reached Iroh-isms yet, for sure. On the path, perhaps.
I'm definitely more interested in that report than I am my mom's current orders. Because I feel like, and it's not that I'm not going to read them both. Obviously, I am. So, but I definitely spend more time and interest poring over the information about my dad, and then I look over to see what the orders are for my mom.
The orders from your mom are that she expects one, if not multiple, Yakuza groups to stage attacks that are plausibly deniable and hit her businesses, and she's been trying to tempt them into hitting the casino because it's being built, and she's trying to, like, psyops insert the idea into their minds that if they destroy the foundations of the casino while it's being laid down, they can delay her biggest business and her greatest future concern. And her orders are to prepare the Blades of Honor and use them to counter this attack rather than the Yakuza, so that you can get the legitimate government behind punishing the Yakuza.
Okay. Sounds like a smart plan, Mom.
So the plan is bait in the attackers to attack your friend's business, stop them in the process.
Right.
And
defend them legitimately.
Yes. And then use your position as samurai to basically be like, well, you know, we interceded police action and now it's time for the government to take vengeance. We need to send someone to deal with these Yakuza.
These are Yakuza from other clans, territories,
they're from this planet,
cities.
But other cities, yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. I'm gonna...
There's that thing at the hotel today.
There's a thing at the hotel?
Yeah, Siegfried is doing the, like, the foundations of the hotel
the
are
ribbon
being
cutting?
put... Yeah, like ribbon cutting. You know,
okay.
the whole casino isn't ready.
He's
right?
breaking ground. He's doing the ground
breaking ground. Yes.
Yeah.
You know more about construction than me. It's
Yeah.
it's a big day at the
It's
casino.
a thing. He's got the golden shovel. He's gonna
Yeah.
dig the first hole, and then they'll immediately fill it back up because it'll be in the wrong spot. It's just there because that's where aesthetically it looks like it should be.
Sure.
Actually, be a lot cooler if he dug the first hole by like pawing at it with like the foot of the catapult.
Yes.
So
I was gonna say if it was like a ribbon cutting, I like cut the ribbon with the crab claw.
yeah. Then you have to have a whole crustacean themed casino aesthetic. It has to be.
Or just the bar area is crab.
Yeah,
You
just
know what
one
I mean?
part of it, right? The big
Yeah.
clamshell or something like that. I forget though. It's got to be all samurai Westworld.
We serve crab, but the crab has been deconstructed and put back together on the plate to look like the battle mech.
Yeah.
It's horrifying to look at.
Horrifying to think about. I say this as someone who enjoys Maryland blue crab. That doesn't sound appetizing.
There's 2 tiers of endless buffet, right? There's the crab and the king crab package.
Hold on. Endless buffet in this economy? Forget
At a
about
casino. It's a casino. They gotta have an endless buffet. I'm
That
pretty
is
sure it's
true.
par for the course.
When I was at the Trump Casino in Atlantic City, they did have a buffet. There was a
It's a
reason I
must.
didn't go there.
Okay, does the report about my dad say like where he is?
It has given you a chain of cities that he's been staying in as he travels around the world. Would you like
Okay.
to try to track him down?
I would like to, yes, I would like to get a date and a place to like where I think he might be.
Intelligence bureaucracy.
Oh, very well.
Actually,
don't-
could I assist in this by saying that I invited his dad to the groundbreaking ceremony?
I think that we'll get this roll here. We'll see how it turns out, and then we'll talk about you and Dad in a minute.
Did you say it was bureaucracy?
Bureaucracy.
Okay, so I have a +1 intelligence, but I'm untrained in bureaucracy,
Okay,
so it's gonna be a
it's
flat
0.
roll.
Yep. You went an 8+ minimum. That is a 7.
7. I'll use my reroll.
Okay.
It is 9:19 by my clock.
Nope.
Oh
No.
balls!
That's actually so much worse.
It's way worse.
If you had just left it and Andrew had given you the +1 down the line, you would have been successful.
I forgot about the +1 already. Okay, all right.
But that's because you don't have it yet. Andrew has to make a roll.
Oh, okay.
But I think what happens is that you're trying to put all this together, and it's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? You're trying to guess where your dad's going to be. And what you end up doing is you end up in like a 3-hour phone conversation trying to arrange airplane tickets. And the person's just like, listen, I'm not sure you're going to be able to bring swords on our flight. We're going to have to run you up to one of our support agents at the next tier. Please hold.
If it's anything like trying to book travel through our government contracted agencies,
yes, it's exactly
a 3-hour wait would be incredible. That would be a rush job. I've been on the phone with Sato for like over 11 hours at one point trying to get a flight.
It's like that. Yes, you're in agony and misery.
Okay.
So
yeah, that sounds good.
So you actually missed the ribbon cutting ceremony.
I take 2 hit points of damage, basically.
Wow. We cut to Siegfried Arnsson. You're waking up on the morning of the ribbon cutting ceremony. You are in the guest house of your future mansion, which has been completed. So the guest house is basically beside the pool. The pool isn't done, but the Yakuza building cooperative has got the guest house done. And you can see that like part of your house is complete. And from here, you can look out and see like the billboard for your future casino that's like ready to go in 3049, and then there's like a big orange sticker on it that says delayed 6 months.
Great.
And according to the electronic mails that you've received today, it does seem like you may have to push that opening date back another 6 months into 3050 possibly.
Why is he hurting? Why is his stuff getting pushed back?
Because that's how construction works.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
He's
okay,
not,
I got you. I got you.
Nothing sinister is happening
Outside
to him.
of a
That's
regular
just
construction
construction.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a underground road tunnel being built here that was supposed to open in December this year, and they had a part of the ground above it had a sinkhole opened up and collapsed into the tunnel. They've now revised the date to 2027.
I based
So good.
I based the date of his casino off of the most recent casino made in Las Vegas, which I think was the Rivian, whatever the new largest casino is that has 3 Hilton hotels in it. And they were like, so it's only going to take 2 years. And then about a year into construction, they were like, we're going to have to delay 6 months. And I was like, great, that's a joke I'm going to make.
Yeah.
For sure.
We have a bridge by my house that goes over the Houston Ship Channel that has been under construction for probably like 6-7 years now. They're replacing the one that's currently there. And then the company that was building it had like another bridge somewhere else in the country fall down. So people were like, wait a second. So they started investigating our bridge and they're like, oh my God, this one's going to fall down too. So they like fired. Now the city's like in this big suit against this company and they've hired a new company to redesign it. It's going to be like another like decade before this new bridge like gets built and is finished because they're having to like take some of it down. And this is a big bridge. So it's not like a simple feat of engineering. It's over one of the biggest like shipways in the country, right? So it's been a pretty prodigious disaster.
So we have a really nice bridge near me called the Roth Bridge, which is named after the guy who made the Roth IRA. It's great and it always works. Next to it is a smaller bridge that leads to the DMV called St. George's Bridge. St. George's Bridge has been closed since I moved to Delaware, something like 10 years ago. It catches fire every 2 or 3 years. And again, to be clear, this is the bridge that leads to the DMV.
Amazing.
Just a precursor of what your experience is going to be like at the DMV.
Honestly, the Delaware DMV is the best one I've ever had in the whole country. I walk in and I'm like, I would like to renew my license. And they're like, great, let's get you in and out of here in less than 5 minutes. Pay a fee at this terminal electronically. I'm like, good. They're like, look at this chart. Can you see? I'm like, yes. They're like, great. Smile for the camera. Boom. Done. Vehicle inspection? 15 minutes. You drive into a garage and a guy tells you what to do. Done. I remember standing in line for 4 hours in New Jersey. Don't even get me started on West Virginia. Okay? Just because the DMV can't maintain the bridge doesn't mean they can't maintain their databases. That's all I'm saying. You are looking around, sir, at a bachelor pad. It's a bachelor pad.
Mm-hmm.
You've still attempted to attract a wife to you. I think you've probably had several casual relationships, but it's been hard, you know? You actually liked this woman before she died, and now you live in a guest house next to an unfinished pool, and you literally can't take your shirt off around noble women because you have a Yakuza tattoo on your back. Like, you literally can't afford to walk around without a shirt on to anybody that you know can't keep their fucking mouth shut now because you're in deep with the family.
Gotcha. Did that relationship with the chick at the party fall through?
I know. I think that it's just like you're still talking deal because I don't want to be like, all right, it fell through. I want to just say that you've had several casual talking relationship and dates with different people. She's still there. She's still on your radar if you want her to be. But I also just want to make it clear that this place, if you want to say that it's got like a bunch of ramen noodle containers or like takeout containers next to the sink, that is how I imagine it at least. But I don't want to play your character for you. But today is a big
there's
day.
definitely a whole bunch of like used like empty pizza boxes.
Yes.
Like
Good. Let the hate
I
flow
don't know if
through
I would say it would be like Chinese food containers and stuff, just all over the place.
Today
And
is
like
a
not
big
good
day.
Chinese food, like the cheap kind.
Okay, well, no need to go after Chinese food, okay? Relax. Chinese food at home, we appreciate you. Choice cooked pork belly. You're just as good as orange chicken, all right? You're valid. Today's the day that you take the giant claws of your catapult and ceremonially dig the first hole for the creation of your hotel. You invited your friends, and it looks like you just got an RSVP from Hiro that he's coming. He'll actually be coming soon. But yeah, just it looks like your number one, your new best friend, your literal partner in crime, Akari. No RSVP. Maybe she'll show up. Could happen.
Are cell phones not a thing? I can't take this call and be somewhere at the
He
same
can
time?
call you. He can call you.
I'm saying I
just
can't be
saying
on
that-
hold with the airline like at the event.
I'm just saying you haven't RSVP'd because you're trying to call your dad.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I want to listen, Rad. I want to stir drama, and I also
gotcha,
want
I
to give
gotcha.
him a reason to call you, so
Okay,
that
okay,
we can
okay.
start having in-player interactions, and so that I can stop describing things and you guys can start playing. I know it's crazy,
No,
but
no, no, no.
here you go, Siegfried.
I'm not
There's
into
your
it.
choice. You got pizza boxes, Chinese
More
takeout,
exposition.
one RSVP,
More
one non-RSVP.
exposition. More exposition.
Hell
I
don't
could,
show.
looks like
I could go.
the-
Look, if you want to play the game without me, I could leave.
Hey, no,
I
no.
could just program an AI.
I want to
just
play
talk
the game
like-
without you by listening to you play it by yourself the whole time. That's what I work in.
Is that a
He
new
wants-
intro
he-
hour
he
episode
wants you to
where
play
it's
the
just
game.
me doing a solo RPG?
That would be incredible. Go ahead.
He wants you to play without us. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be so funny to like get together to have a show and let the audience think it's going to be a regular show, and then it's just 2 hours of the three of us nodding, and you just talk for the whole episode. That'd be amazing. What a troll!
You know, we could arrange that by just recording you guys nodding
Yeah,
for like
that
2
would
or
be
3
even
minutes.
better.
and looping it.
and putting it on a loop.
Just every once in a while,
Oh
you
my
get
God.
interrupted by, "Oh, that's crazy."
what an incredible April Fool's joke that would be. Actually,
That would be so good.
let's keep that one on the
Put that in
menu.
the podcast.
shall
Edit this
we?
out.
Yep.
Cut this. Cut this. Cut this.
Just cuts and comes back, and we're all laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, pizza
Oh
boxes.
goodness. Yeah. I think there's a moment where he's looking, gets the RSVP from Hiro, and he's like, "Good old Hiro, always reliable, never up to anything shady." And then as he goes about getting ready, and then as he's like finishing getting ready, I think he'll pick up the phone and call like Akari just to be like, haven't heard anything from Akari yet. Let's see what's going on.
You just get a busy signal because I'm on hold.
Right.
But you get an email probably like a few minutes later, an electronic mail, as Thor the God of Thunder would say, to saying like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, plate's very full. I'll be there. I promise. Hope all is going well." You know,
You get
there's
you get an email back, and it's just a thumbs up emoji.
okay. There's no capital letters, no punctuation, so you know she's like overwhelmed at the moment.
Yep. I feel like our relationship has become extremely casual over
Yes,
the last 6
I think
months.
so too. I think so too. I think they have like a very comfortable sibling relationship almost at this point.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think going towards the getting ready, I think I'm going to do like a last minute audible and like bring the crab instead of the catapult.
Incredible.
Yep.
I think the Yakuza have set up like advertising for the catapult, and like you showing up in the crab, someone in the audience is gonna like complain, and then like two dudes in suits are gonna descend on them and just be like, "Sir, we need to speak to you over here. Come with us, please."
Oh no. If they've set up advertising that the catapult will be there, I'll bring the catapult. Yeah. If everyone is hyped for the missile boat, I'll bring that.
I do love the
dig
idea
the
of
first
Siegfried
hole
having like a marketing guy who every time Siegfried suddenly changes his mind, the guy's like, "Fuck, what am I going to do now?"
It's been a real
James,
Darth Vader situation.
I
Like the
see
last
you've met
like
a
4
marketing guy
marketing guys.
before.
have
We got
gone
half
missing.
our funding from the manufacturer of the catapult
Yeah.
to do this event, and now he's not going to even show it.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons they're so delayed. Is it?
The LRM racks of the catapult are loaded up with like air guns and plushies.
T-shirt cannons.
Yeah, just t-shirt cannons.
Cannons.
I don't understand how t-shirt cannons show up on my show so often. It seems improbable given the fact that I never bring them.
Everybody loves a good t-shirt cannon.
I guess not me, but everyone else surely.
Yeah. Actually, I like that. Yeah, I'm going to say the catapult has a bunch of t-shirt cannons loaded in the LRM racks.
T-shirt cannon 20.
Just your standard issue 50 t-shirts loaded into a missile rack,
Yep.
fired at the force of military armature. Sure, yeah.
T-shirt cannons.
I mean,
and
it's
then,
still like essentially just a large potato gun with a t-shirt wadded into it.
Yes.
and a bunch of paper vouchers for the king crab level buffet when the casino opens.
No, they're vouchers wrapped inside the t-shirts, and one of them is
Golden
like a year
voucher.
past to the
Yeah, they're already expired.
buffet.
Their start date is the original opening of the hotel.
All the shirts are 5XL large as well.
Right.
What is happening to this show? I was trying to have serious business season 2 opening, and we've devolved into t-shirt cannon catapult.
Well, I could tell you where you made your first mistake.
Listening to you when you said, "Hey, I want to pitch you on the show," and I said, "Give me 2 hours, I'll come up with an idea."
That's what I was going to say.
And you drew a mech on a pizza flyer.
On a napkin or something. Yeah, yeah. No,
and then when I
discount
showed it to
tire
people, you were like,
receipt
"No,
or
you
something.
can't show that."
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Remember when I did a really serious trailer for the show that included Spoon and Lawson doing voice acting?
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is where we are now.
Here we are. Thanks, guys.
The natural evolution of all shows.
You really set the tone. Yeah.
Do we want to do all three of you meeting up at the ceremony before it kicks off?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, I like that
Akari
idea.
is still on the phone, like on
Mhm.
hold.
Sure.
Like Gamers 2. Yes, I'm on hold. Yes, you're still.
Although I would like to talk to Detective Hiro at some point. It could be at a later point. That's fine.
Who are you talking to? Sorry.
Detective Hiro.
Detective.
Yeah, let's do that now while you're on your way. You stop in. You actually see him outside the police headquarters. He's just gotten done smoking a cigarette, and he's looking really dramatic. Like the sun is casting this shadow across him. While your vehicle's approaching, he's in profile, and he turns to look directly at your vehicle and does the like slow head follow and pose like intense 3047 rap music makes Hirohito seem 10 times cooler as his head slowly follows your vehicle. Poe, like puts down the window and he's just like, "Detective Hirohito, my lord would like to speak to you into the back." And Hirohito just goes, "Ah, shit, not this again." He pulls out another cigarette, lights it, and then he gets into the back of your car, sits down and says, "Oh, I thought it'd be fucking Akari. What can I do for you, my lord?"
Detective, I'll hand him his ashtray.
He just... Sorry, I forgot it wasn't my squad car.
I was out walking this morning, patrol, as is expected of us, and I have to say, whatever it is you're doing, Detective, seems to be working. And Getsu Bay has never looked better. And I know that you've been working long hours to make this happen.
He looks at you with a blank look and then just kind of taps the ash off the end of his cigarette and says, "Yeah, the department really appreciates your heartfelt thanks for all of our hard work, but we can't take all the credit. I gotta tell you, something's going on that I don't quite understand.
Really? Can you elaborate?
No.
All right. I just had one more question for you, Detective. I mean, is Hangetsu Bay all you have your eyes set on? If there was an opportunity to go bigger, maybe federal, is that something that you would ever consider doing?
I go where I am commanded to go. My family arranged for me to get this post, but I have to tell you, my focus is narrower than Hangetsu Bay right now. There's a specific breed of criminal I was brought here to deal with. Also, I'm played by a different actor in this season because I have a different accent. But you can tell that I'm supposed to be the same person because I have the uniform that says Hiro on it, which I never wore in the first season because I'm a detective. I don't normally wear my, my patrolman's uniform. But I forgot what I'm supposed to sound like, so now I sound like this.
Now, who was he based on? Was
the guy from Miami Vice or something?
Yeah. He's based on James Caan's son from Miami Vice.
Scott Caan, that's right, yeah.
I forgot about that until now. Yeah, well, now he sounds like this. Now he sounds like kind of down
sounds like he's on the wire.
New York City street cop.
Yeah, I always thought of more of like, Keanu Reeves from Point Break. Before,
God, Point Break. I love that you're like, would you like to go federal? And he's just like, my family got me this job, so, whatever.
All right. Now you've answered my question. There are things in play. I was just curious whether you wanted to come for the ride, so to speak. But if you're happy to be busting hoods here, then that's perfectly fine.
Hey, I can't go anywhere until this job is done. But if you're telling me there's opportunities somewhere else on the planet down the line, well, I'm willing to hear you out when my job is done.
All right. Well, you've got my number. I know I've left it with you before.
Yes. Now, I have a question for you.
What's that, Detective?
There's someone I've been looking for that I haven't been able to get a hold of for a little while. What do you know about Brad's dad's name? Why am I not able to find Isoroku? What do you know about Isoroku Genji? I've been hoping to have a conversation with him for some time.
Well, I've never actually met him. I know that I get the impression that there's no love lost between him and my associate in the Blades.
You mean Lady Akari Genji, just there on the record?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I had to ask. Nothing else I can do for you?
No, thank you for your time, Detective.
Well, I appreciate you helping to clean up the street. Hangetsu Bay is, as you've said, never been more criminal. He knocks on the driver window to let Poe know to let him out. Just gets out and he's like, I don't know where the fuck I am. You guys drive away.
This thing we stop on the curb. Were we driving around? Okay.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know this city. I've only been here 6 months. Now we come together with everyone at the groundbreaking ceremony, and you could see that there's a marketing guy in the background who's sweating really hard, and he's just going, oh my god, he cannot bring the crab under no circumstances. The catapult is literally an iconic Draconis Combine mech. The Draconis Combine mustard soldiery is paying us Michael Bay style to have the catapult here. We have to have that imagery under, and then he like sees the catapult approaching, like the sun behind it, and he's like, thank you, dragon spirits above.
Siegfried,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a big day.
Yeah, I'm
Are we
excited.
like flanking him with our two mechs, and we're coming in like all of the blades of honor are coming in, and we're talking over the
Oh, we
radio?
did this in Mexico. I wasn't sure if we were on the ground. And this
You
was just,
can do it however you want. If you want to do it in mechs,
I get
that's
it.
pretty rad.
I thought that he was coming. He was piloting the
Yes,
catapult.
he's
in.
piloting his catapult in. If you guys want to come in
sorry,
mechs
okay.
as well, that would be rad.
Just a thought.
I don't know. I don't think I would have bought a. I don't think I would have bought a mech to the city just for this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think we the camera like flashes over to Siegfried in the cockpit, and he's like, he's got like several auxiliary fans hooked up inside the catapult because he's wearing his military uniform, and it's just hot, and he's trying not to let the uniform get drenched in sweat before he has to get out and do something.
So then do we like flash forward to where like the catapult is pulled up and the initial fanfare of its approach is completed, and you've come down for the ceremony part. Now the three of us are gathered and they're doing like their introductions or whatever happening over on the stage, and we have like a few minutes to catch up before he gets called up there to do his piece of the ceremony.
They're warming the crowd.
Yeah.
Yep. They're warming the crowd. There's a dude going over the catapult with like last minute like brushing dirt off the feet and whatever.
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
I'm like, big day,
Okay.
big day.
Yeah.
I
So
think
is everything got to plan then, Siegfried?
Yeah, I think so. I think Siegfried is like obviously very like nervous or anxious with everything about to go on. So I think he's trying to tell you that everything is cool, but I think you can see it, and he's like passively doing like squats or stretching out or trying to just stay like mobile while this conversation is happening. So he's like, yeah, everything looks great.
I can't stay too late. We're finally running field tries on the blackjack this afternoon. Unfortunately, somebody in the capital owns a captured Jaeger mech, and they've been buying up all the AC2 ammunition. We finally managed to get enough there to run the field trials. So
That's a shame. We'll have to see if we can get you some more ammo sometime. Be great to have the blackjack on the field.
If only I had an arms business that could help with that.
You can see nearby that one of the people gassing up the crowd is like, and let's have a round of applause for the Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery, who have a representative here today to talk about the new Lysander-class submarine carrier, which they will be deploying one out of here in Hengetsu Bay! And like a bunch of people in the crowd who are obviously own stock in the company that makes this are like, that's right. We're the fucking number's about to go up right now. Oh, I'm telling you, buddy, it's gonna be all green.
I love the idea in a setting where there's like literally planet to planet warfare that submarines are a major part of.
That's it's crazy. Every great house has a naval fleet, and all of them have a submarine carrier, and the Draconis Combine has an airship carrier as well.
Yeah. Kazakhstan has a navy despite it being landlocked. They have one boat with 17 crew, none of who can swim.
Yeah, but they also have one of the most important space launch sites. So really, don't they have a spacey, the Space Navy? Now, is that launch site owned by Russia? Yes. Yes, it is.
So do we just watch to see what happens?
Yeah, I think I don't really have anything for you guys until we get this ball rolling.
The ball gets rolling.
Yeah.
At some point,
I think there's just some
Siegfried
passive thanking everyone for showing up.
You do that first dig with the catapult's chicken walker legs. People go crazy. someone in the crowd faints, and then the t-shirt cannon LRMs go off.
There's a minimum amount of casualties, as several people get hit
Do
in
they
the
come out
face.
like anime missiles?
Yeah.
Where they all just like, just
Anime missiles are based on how real missiles work. Just to be very clear, the term that they call Macross Missile Madness is how real missiles work. I know it seems crazy, but animes actually get it right. But I think the Yakuza have convinced enough nearby locals and tourists that like this is a big event to have shown up, and they don't know about the hotel or the casino or the bowling lanes that'll be involved or the crab restaurant. All they know is that a giant battle mech is shooting t-shirts at them, and they're like, woo, yay! But again, these are all Draconis Combine people, so their celebrations are not like crazy running around with their shirt off drunkenness. It's like very sedate clapping. And one of the police officers nearby like whips out his stun gun and is like, keep it down. Keep it down.
Easy.
We're
You better get
laughing,
the
but
riot-
that's how this works in Canada.
Yeah, get the riot squad out just in case.
All of you are together. Your duties today done, but each of you now has a goal in mind, which is what I wanted when we went into this. So feel free to give me whatever you got. Fully off the rails now. I don't have 2 hours of exposition.
Akari, just
Yes, sir.
for your information, I caught up this morning with Detective Hiro at City Hall. He was looking into your father. I mean, I know
He can get in line.
He's been interested in your family. I thought I'd just mention it to you.
Yeah, to be honest, he's not on my radar at the moment. Detective Hiro. My dad, however, is another story of actually just this morning I got some information, some leads on what he's been up to and where he's been at, and unfortunately I have not been able to secure or really pin down an opportunity to meet with him, but being an estranged daughter has become very tiresome, and I'd very much like to see him, but unfortunately I've been grasping at straws so far.
Well, I don't know whether Hirohito has access to sources of information that we don't. Or
Well, if he was asking you about it, I would guess he probably doesn't.
No. Or if it's worthwhile in your attempts to communicate with your father, let him know that the law here in Hungary Bay is after him. Whether that would increase or decrease his chance of speaking with you, I don't know.
Well, I got some. He's reportedly he's been up to some rather peculiar activities, and not only do I desperately want to reconcile with him, I'm concerned that he may at some point draw some negative attention with what he's been up to. So I think the urgency for me to find him is increasing, and at this point I'd take whatever resource I could get.
The person you were trying to call has hung up.
I just heave the phone as hard as I can into the construction site.
Nearby, you hear a guy holding a champagne flute, eating caviar off of a Dixie plate, going, "Yes, that's right. I did hear that the Federated Commonwealth formed the 11th FedCom RCT, but I dare say a Federated Commonwealth RCT isn't going to stand up to one of our new Lysander-class submarine carriers. That's what I've heard, anyway. One submarine carrier has 8 Aero 4 missile launchers. I assume that's more than enough to take out hundreds of mechs."
Look, if the battle is being done 600 feet below the surface of the ocean, I will rate the submarine above the mechs, but only barely.
Interestingly, according to the rule set for the Lysander carrier, it can fire its Aero 4 missile launchers underwater. To the surface, to be clear.
Yeah.
And it has torpedoes, so I think it would fare pretty well against the mechs. Now, if they have to fight the mechs on land, it's a submarine carrier, so it's not capable of moving on land. It'll just kind of fall over sideways.
The crab just walks out of the water holding the submarine and sets it down on the ground and goes, "Fight me now, bitch."
I think you're severely underestimating
Yeah,
how
I'm sure.
big the Lysander is. I think the fusion engine of it is 1,041 tons. So it's literally the size of 14 Atlases.
Are these guys
just
like
the engine.
the Genji family like competitors that are thriving now while my business is...
Oh, I mean, like the people making the Lysander class are like all over the Draconis Combine. They're way more than just this. But this guy right here, I think, yeah, let's say that this guy's like a competitor, and you could see that he's wearing like a crisp black suit, and he's got one of those red pocket squares going off, and you could see that the emblem of Sykes weaponry is there, and you know he's been trying to move into the local area for years. Your family has basically maintained a total blockade of it, but now that your business doesn't belong to you anymore, even though it still has your name on it, this guy's like here, he's been invited to this ceremony, and he sees you and he gives you a little wave. It's like, oh, excuse me for a moment, that's Akari Genji over there. I heard she recently lost control of her businesses. We're trying to acquire the local subsidiary. Excuse me, I need to go talk to her real quick. Akari!
I hold my hand up as if I still had a phone and walk off like I'm busy.
It seems like she's on the phone right now. The champagne is amazing.
Fuck this guy.
I want to assume that he is played by the guy from the Hawkeye series who was like the fencing master.
I love that
That's
guy.
who I'm assuming it is.
Perfect.
I kept thinking that dude was going to be a secret swordmaster villain the whole time.
This Lysander is like the wet navy equivalent of a dropship.
Yeah.
It holds
pretty
30,
quick. It's good.
Holds 30 aerospace fighters and 4 smaller submarines.
Yeah.
I feel like I make eye contact with the nearest Yakuza, and I do what's the villain from, is it the first Indiana Jones movie where he tells the natives to go after India? Where it's like...
Belloc.
Yeah, Belloc. That's it.
Are you seriously sending?
No. It's one of those scenes in the movies where that happens, and then it flashes back, and it's apparent that was like an internal thought that got like played out in her head.
Like Homelander killing the crowd.
Yeah. Like 6 arrows like hit him in the chest.
Like how you think these Yakuza bring bows with them.
I don't know.
No, he meant arrow forwards.
He takes,
yeah. 6 arrow force. Yeah.
He gets hit by missiles larger than he is, yes.
He takes a t-shirt straight to the sternum.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that actually does happen. Yeah, he gets
It's
hit.
actually a Yakuza guy with like an AT4 with a t-shirt in it.
He comes up from the ground. He's holding the golden lifetime endless buffet second tier premium ticket. Goes, oh my goodness, it's my lucky day. People nearby are like golf clapping, and the cops are like,
yeah, he coughs into a napkin, and only the camera can see that there's blood in it.
don't worry, everyone. I was wearing Sykes weaponry, patented Myanmar armor beneath my business suit. I'll be fine.
God, it'd be gratuitous, but I almost want him to get hit by like a second t-shirt while he's telling everyone he's fine.
I seem to have caught a bit of a consumption.
It happens, I guess. That's the bits we're going for today. Sure. He gets hit a second time.
God.
He's like, it's like I got a second ticket.
Do you remember 6 months ago when we went to that ball after returning from our trip, and I spoke with a member of the soldiery. What was his ranking? And he was a general?
Brigadier General.
Brigadier General.
Yeah.
He extended an offer to potentially collaborate going forward. I was thinking now that things have settled down again, and Angetsu Bay is tracking so well that I might spend some time traveling to the capital and see if I can explore that avenue a little bit further.
Yeah. Do you need support? It'd be great to do some soldier work again.
I don't know just yet, but I mean, I obviously the Blades of Honor we're responsible to the Baron, but insofar as our responsibilities to the Baron involve protecting Valentina, if the Brigadier has an opportunity, then I'll discuss it with each of you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for a way to get back into the good graces. I don't know how much longer my house can financially endure this penance that it's paying. So, not that it wasn't earned, but I am excited for potential opportunities to turn things around.
Well, just to be clear, I suppose, Akari, there's two ways to get back into good graces. One is to get back into the good graces of the Baron who spurned us. The other is to get into the good graces of someone above him. And this is definitely the latter. It would not. I think that the more favor we courage with the Brigadier, the more that may eventually harm our relationship with the Baron.
I'll have to figure out a way to play my cards in the right order, I guess. So far, I haven't been given much to work with, so even a step backwards is a step. I haven't been able to take any at this point, so.
While you're waiting, Akari, you look around and you see one of the Yakuza is approaching you with like printed off message. And he hands it to you on a silver tray while bowing, as if he was your servant.
I feel like I have an intermediary, right? Like I have like
You don't like being handed things. I get it.
Yeah. I have like a professional. I have a Pepper Potts, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That his thing goes on her tray, and then her
Can we
tray
say
comes
it's
to
your
me.
mech tech Onare, the person we've only
Yes,
seen
absolutely.
once? Yeah. So yeah, he intercepts this guy and then brings it over to you to act as a fall guy or plausible deniability. The message is from your mother, and it's outlining her new latest plot. That if you can get involved with Shiro no Sagi and have a legitimate marriage with him and have a kid and have him replace his father Koji, she can have Koji and Shiro killed, and then you will reign as regent of Hangatsu Bay, and the kid will become the new Baron. This is the new plan she came up with this morning. Yes.
She just sends us in a fortune cookie, basically.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oinari just raises an eyebrow towards this. And just, as a devout Shintoist, this plan is insane to him. But
it is insane, but you don't become King Enma, Lord of Hell, without passing some judgment. So I don't know. I just look at it and I read it and I compartmentalize that to be unpacked later. That's a lot. I mean, so that was a little bit already the plan, right? The modification to the plan is, and we'll kill them both.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. One of my many you have ADHD, don't forget to be an adult alarms was going on.
It's one thing to discuss this plan with your mother. It's another for her to order you to marry somebody and then have them killed. And then also kill their father.
And have a child too.
Right, and also overthrow the government. Yes.
What is she on? Like, I make it a point to meet with her later and discuss this because this seems like a bit much to be like. I woke up.
Just to be clear, her rapid rise to power is going incredibly well for her. There have been no consequences for her action at any point.
Well, but have there been some psychological consequences? Like, is she spiraling into like megalomania sort of?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what happens when you receive no consequences for your actions. Only good things happen when you do bad things. Yes.
So, do we
She's the
want
new
to
secret
say?
crime boss of the local area, and it's going great for her. She got rid of her husband that she doesn't like. Her
Yeah.
daughter has never been more powerful.
Is my mech tech? Is he? Is he my confidant as well?
I mean, he works for
Like,
you. Yeah, he doesn't
okay.
work for your mom.
He's pretty reliably loyal.
Yeah.
As far as Akari is concerned, right?
Yeah.
Like she confides in him, but like, and I don't know, it's not Catholicism, so it's not confession, but in whatever
I
the
mean, but
Shinto
he gives
Buddhist,
religious
like,
guidance in the way that
Yeah,
any chaplain
right.
or spiritualist would. Yeah.
right, and he understands, he knows that I'm trying to emulate like Inma, right? Like this
Yeah.
is my patron saint of like the king,
Street justice.
right? The king of death, basically judging people, trying to keep the good people out of hell and make sure the bad people go to hell, sort of
Yeah.
situation. So like he understands like that's sort of my goal.
I think the way the legend goes is that Enma makes sure that people who have bad karma are punished for it so that they have an opportunity to accumulate good deeds and rise back through the ranks towards
Right.
becoming Buddha again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super like brutal.
Yeah.
But like with good intention sort of vibe. Like so that's what she wants to work towards. Like I feel like she's had this big fall, she's had this crisis, and while things like externally have worked out for her, internally she's been pretty broken ever since she went and killed her uncle and burnt his house. Like she thought that would solve all her problems, and of course, like every revenge story ever, it only made them much worse.
Well,
And
hold on.
she's spiraled badly.
Sometimes getting revenge works out great for you.
Okay.
Don't act like every revenge story doesn't work
Yeah.
out well. For those of us who love getting
This isn't-
revenge, fuck
This isn't
that.
a Bandito Kenneth Cross situation. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
of
actually
course.
went poorly.
Where you ruin your life and you make things worse by chasing
Yeah.
down and murdering people. Yes,
So she's
but not all
trying.
revenge ends poorly for the person taking revenge.
She's trying to seek redemption through faith, and she is like a classically trained like Buddhist priest. Basically, like she went to like I don't know whatever the equivalent is,
Seminary.
right? Yeah, seminary. She studied and lived like in a Buddhist monastery for like a portion of her like young life. And so that's kind of like that's the framework she's trying to use to find internal peace. And her external decisions haven't always facilitated that very well.
Oh, and Ari's gonna see you like folding that note away and offer to take it from you and say, "You look troubled, my lady."
I'll hand it to him with the sort of like PC glance of
Yeah, he
you can
takes
read,
out a
you
lighter
can read
and
this
sets
and
it on
you'll
fire.
understand. Yeah.
Oh, he
yeah.
read it while he was bringing it
Okay.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, he sets it on fire because it's treason.
Right. Yeah. 100%. And I'll meditate on that. We can meditate on this later. I'll need to meditate on this later.
Seems that you are doing a lot today. Your father, plans about the hotel, this latest message. Perhaps you're spread too thin.
I don't know any other way to be spread at this point.
So Oinari just kind of like gives a slight bow towards Hiro to show that he's about to withdraw from the conversation. And I think we see Siegfried climbing out of his catapult now that the t-shirt cannon has hit the representative of Sykes' weaponry twice. Inexplicably.
Yeah.
Waiting for a reload now.
Is that
Yep.
what's happening? We're literally watching a bunch of techs crawl over the catapult and manually loading t-shirt rounds into the LRM launchers.
Two Chinooks have just come and taken the shoulder mounts off and are replacing them with more that are loaded with more.
The classic way to reload missiles.
Yeah. The whole, I don't know if anybody knew this, you Battletech
whole launcher.
aficionados. The whole thing comes off and they just put new ones on there.
No,
Well, that
I
is
like the
actually how the
idea-
Timberwolf works, but
Maybe it's all
I
fireworks.
like the idea the catapult is like crouched down, and as Siegfried's getting out, techs are climbing up and like stuffing more t-shirts and like swag into the like
no,
t-shirt
I want
cannons.
to be really clear. They're not climbing up it. They're using cranes and helicopters to load this thing from a gantry. Don't pretend like they can just put on a rigging harness and climb somehow. This is
like
a fucking 30-foot tall battle mech.
A dozen scissor lifts all around it are going up.
That I'll believe. That I
Yeah.
will believe.
I feel like maybe they're reloading it. Like, can the ceremony have been at like sunset, and now they're getting ready for like the celebration portion? They're going to be fireworks.
when it's all
and,
fireworks?
like, a very like Chinese New Year-esque sort
I
of.
like the idea that they didn't actually like replace the LRM ammo. They just stuck like t-shirt cannons in the missile tubes, and there's like a wire running down to the inside of the cockpit. So it's all off of just like one of those big, fun-looking
Oh my
like
God.
push buttons.
First time we
So
roll
once
double
it shoots
one
all the t-shirts?
Yeah.
First time we roll double one in a mech battle, AP's gonna be like, oh well, to let those
A bunch of
t-shirt
t-shirts fly out.
ruined the mechanism.
I imagine they would all be gone the second I fire actual missiles out of the tubes.
Yeah. I would think that as soon as the t-shirts fire out, the actual t-shirt cannons are ejected like shotgun shells out the side.
No, I like this. If the first combat roll you make in your mech is a double one, the t-shirt cannon, that thing is
T-shirts
coming
shoot
back.
out instead of
Yeah.
missiles.
After the
you
first
shoot
shot,
the enemy mech with t-shirts.
after the first shot, we'll talk about what it is. But it's definitely the t-shirts. If it's the
You know,
first shot,
I'm here for it.
you have to ponder the madness. You just got a long call double ones from way off the board.
Yep.
Well, you're part of the conversation now, Siegfried.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't know.
And... Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I was talking to my
you got
priest
a
guy.
letter.
I got a letter. He leaves. You show up. I go, I love the t-shirts.
Thanks.
That's-
And I get like one of the texts that's like bringing t-shirts over to load them back into the cannon and just hand you one.
Nice. Take it. I want to say it's long sleeve t-shirt, and I tie it around like a 90s flannel around my
Yes.
waist. So that my butt is advertising your
This
casino.
Dead Poets Society or some shit?
Yeah, it's Empire Records. And then I look over at Homeboy coughing up blood, and I'm like, I think it was a really good idea, the whole t-shirt cannon thing. I think it worked out exactly how I would have liked it to work out.
Like flag someone down to take the guy to the medical tent.
So I got this. I want to be able to share with the group the intel I got that the Yakuza are planning basically some raids and the casino is a potential target. But I don't, with Hiro here, I don't want to I don't want to implicate myself or my mom that this is like Yakuza business. So she'll be like, hey, Hiro already knows that I have like that connection. So I can kind of like insinuate this is information from that network that I have access to. But there are some potential underground threats that might be cropping up here that we should probably discuss here in the next day or two. I
do need to. I have some field trials this afternoon, but I can leave you two to it, and then if there's anything you need my help with, you just have to call, obviously.
It's important, but it's not urgent. We can discuss it. We can loop you in. That's not a problem. I appreciate you making yourself available when the time comes. That's all.
Yep. Wherever I need to be, let me know.
Absolutely. It'd be a pleasure to see the blackjack on the field. So,
well, we're still at a mech warrior right now, so we are then still to the Kintaro and the Wolverine, but I suppose it provides a new versatility in case you want to shoot someone who's a very long way away.
well, I'm hoping we find one sooner than later because I think reprisals from Whittington are only a matter of time, and I think we need to have. I think we need to. It's been 6 months now. I envision it's going to be sooner rather than later, so we need to establish a good SOP for that eventuality, I feel.
Right. Well, hopefully we figure that out, and whenever they get here, we can knock some teeth out.
But as far as urgent business goes, I don't want to be a wet blanket on tonight's celebration. This is about the casino and things finally getting rolling. So, you know, I wave over some organizers to bring over some drinks.
Okay. Siegfried, someone comes over to you with like a really like 1980s style how do I describe this? I actually don't remember what they look like that well, but you remember those little TVs that you could get that look like a cassette player with like a
a
360p television on them, like pre-CRT monitor. Little
I
things.
used to have one.
Yeah, they come over with that to you, and you can see that Lady Kazumi Yamada has scheduled a debate against Isoroku Genji tonight. Like, it's happening in the next few minutes, and it's a question. It's like a debate on the philosophy of the warrior of the Draconis Combine and the future of the armed forces.
Oh, cool. Is she on live TV, or is this like a recording?
Yeah, it's going to be
or...
a live thing. Like,
No, I'm saying like
debate-
the thing I'm watching now.
yes, yeah. It's like hey, I'm Jan Jansen here, coming to you live from the sports ball arena somewhere else on Valentina.
I thought he was going to be Jan Jansen from like the Backpack Factory.
This guy's clearly from the free world, or from the Free Wrestle Republic. You know,
This
Jansen.
guy's
He's like
Jansen.
6'5", red hair, huge beard, absolutely pale skinned Nordic guy with blue eyes.
He's played by like Tormund from the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's just like, we're 10 minutes away from getting started here. Just looking forward to the debate. I've got several guest commentators here who know a lot more about the debate on this issue and what we're likely to see tonight. Let's do the rundown. And then it's like, hey, I'm a guy and I know about the military. And then it cuts to the next person. They're like, I'm a debater and I know about debating. And the two of them are just like immediately start arguing with each other. Well, Jansen goes, and that's the state of entertainment media of the Draconis Combine at 3047, everybody.
I think I like send Kazumi like an email like wishing her luck in the debate, and
She'll
like,
get it
not that-
right
not
as
that
it
she-
starts.
like not that she needs luck, but
Who is she debating?
Your dad.
she's debating your dad.
No, my dad, right?
Yeah,
okay. Wow. Akari is
As it's
jaw dropping.
happening, just in the background, the fireworks are going off. Because the Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery is sponsoring this event, like a flight of captured Lucifers goes overhead, aerospace fighters, and they let off like huge blasts with lasers and fireworks as well, and everyone's like, ooh, ah. They start clapping, and nearby the cops are just like, hey, keep the noise down.
Celebrate, but not too much. Bring it down to a 7.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I think like at this point, I'm just trying to make sure the party's going well and everyone's having a good time.
Great. I would love to see a bureaucracy roll to see if this party is bureaucracy charisma to see if this party is, as the kids call it, bumping. I'll also take another skill if you think you have one that's more relevant.
Will I get a bonus for spiking the punch?
Absolutely.
I don't have bureaucracy. I got business.
Yeah, sure. Business with charisma. Let's do it.
We got let's see, hold on. I also got persuade. Can I do persuade?
No, I think business is pretty good.
Okay.
We're
So
gonna
this is
see
just
how
going to
good
be
in a second.
yeah. So this is just a +1, so it's a 0 bonus.
Okay. You throwing it in the sacred dice tower you asked me to upload?
Yep.
Can't
Let's see how
wait
it goes.
to spend the 5 minutes for that to get to the bottom.
For him to get stuck.
Yeah, there's some.
There we go.
It's just a 6.
No bonuses at all?
No bonus.
And you don't have a reroll?
Nope.
This party is not bumping. Somebody started playing this new type of music called Sleemow. That is the industrial sounds of the mech bay overlaid
Is it
with
new or is it like 20 years old now?
No, it's new now.
Okay.
It's new now.
It's this is the start of Sleemow. So
He's here, actually, personally DJing.
William Wyndham Williamson IV, who's like 6 years old right now, is personally DJing it.
He's a phenom. Yeah, he's a prodigy.
This is like someone showing up and like doing the gritty at a serious event. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people are like listening to this and they're like, oh my, it's me, the representative from Sykes Weaponry. I have to say, this sort of music is certainly not as high class as I thought this establishment would be. And they cut to whatever the Draconis Combine version of America the Beautiful is. But people are already leaving.
Oh, well, you win some, you lose some.
But also tired of getting tased for clapping too loud.
No one's gotten tased yet. Everyone's just been warned to stay within the bounds of good public cheer.
The DJ who was playing that music gets tased, and that's why the music goes back to like a regular.
I was going to say, is the guy who's not spreading public cheer going to get tased?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Two Yakuza, like, frog march the guy out by, like, lifting him by his shoulders and bring a new DJ on who's wearing, like, a cat helmet. So you can't see him, and he just goes on. He starts playing old Daft Punk records, and people are like, "That's acceptable. We like Daft Punk. It's French, but it's also kind of Japanese."
Yeah, I think as they're carrying the Sykes guy out for like harshing the vibe, I like take the golden ticket from him, hand it to Akari.
No, my golden ticket. You're going to hear from my lawyers about this, Mr. Arnsson.
I just like like death stare him.
No.
Oh man.
Okay. Unless anyone has any other business, we can cut to the next day and whatever your open-ended
I don't know.
plans are.
The party's dying down. Can we kind of like sneak off and watch the debate? No, like I'm interested to watch what my dad's got going on.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm here to like find out if a potential romantic partner does well.
I don't know that either side, like, it's not a competitive debate in the way that you might be thinking. It's like two philosophers going at it and discussing things. And it's clear that Lady Kazumi Yamada has come in with like a very set stance. She knows exactly what she wants to argue about. She lays out her plan immediately. And Isoroku just starts, I don't want to say he starts rambling, but I think it's clear that he's not sure what his stance should be and begins outlining several different ways of like looking at the use of the military, specifically from the point of view that like the nobility form the like mech warrior core of the nobility, but in this ever-changing world where like business is becoming stronger, the heir to the throne has like made moves that he would like to see more mech warriors from like outside noble lines. Like, where does the nobility see itself in 20 years when he's the new dragon? Like, what will a new military look like with more commoners and less nobles? And where would the nobility go from there? And it's things that like Lady Kazumi didn't anticipate that he would not show up with like one argument, but like 7. And she's trying to debate like all of his stances. And he's just like not really debating her and more like talking to the crowd. And it's just like strangely hipsterish from your dad, who's always been like a very quiet, formal person. And it's like you're watching someone who doesn't know what the answer to his questions are, and he genuinely wants someone to give him an answer. It turns into a very strange debate, and then we cut back to Jans Jansen and his expert debate coverage team, who are just like, well, I'm telling you, from a military point of view, what I heard was treason. That man should be executed. And the debate expert's just like, debating against yourself is a bad strategy. All I have to say here is that when I think of Isoroku Genji, I don't think of a master debater.
No. Oh.
Been waiting to do that one all night, Red.
Oh. Oh no.
So, yeah, I think that out of all of the talking, unsurprisingly, because the media is literally owned and controlled by the government, there's no shock that no matter what channel you're watching on, they all say that Lady Kazumi Yamada won that debate with clear, forward thinking for like better veterans benefits for veterans going forward in the future. Like that's a debate policy that everyone can get behind. And the Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery has always stood by its veterans 100%. Its veterans affairs are the best in the inner sphere. Is that actually true? No. But is it something that they say? Yes. But for people who aren't the government, Isoroku's opening up, like a former active duty noble and mech warrior, opening up, like, I think the way that the military is formed is changing. There's even like a bunch of notes that he made, like mech production is up like a lot. It used to be that like fielding a regiment of battle mechs on a planet was like a huge deal. And now, even though the number of raids and like conflicts is going down, the number of mechs in each nation is like skyrocketing. Production is up almost 800% in some places. So there literally are not enough nobles in the Draconis Combine to stock Luthien Armor Works' new improved production and new mechs. So people who know what they're talking about are recognizing what he's saying, and they're like, he made confusing points, but a lot of what he's saying is true.
Why is this happening?
Why is my father flirting with treason?
Why is my dad doing this?
Yes, my mom is also flirting with treason.
Yes, what is happening to the Genji family?
Also, I committed treason.
Yes. So, and I might be about to commit a whole bunch more. I think pretty firmly this show ends with Hiro killing, or at least this generation ends with Hiro killing Akari.
The two of you standing next to a water tank fighting on a rooftop, just shouting, Hiro! Akari! As you run at each other with swords.
I hate you!
The water tank explodes from the force of your sword's collision.
Yeah. Okay. God, this is...
I have a secret weapon to make him stop fighting, though.
It's a catapult.
The power of friendship.
No,
T-shirt cannons. Yeah. It fires a get along shirt at us, so we both have to put on and wear at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. Now no matter, even if I meet my dad and I'm like, what can I do? He'll be like, well, commit some treason. So it's like I gotta choose between which parent's treason I want to help commit.
I mean, he's not actively trying to overthrow the government. It's just that the philosophies he's saying are not ones nobles should be publicly acknowledged.
Yeah, but I think
he's definitely skirting treasonous sentiments. But if the government didn't want it to happen, they would literally silence him.
Akari knows that he's smart enough to know he's playing a dangerous game.
Yes.
And he is walking a tightrope. And a person like her father would only do that intentionally.
Yep.
Never like accidentally. So there's a lot of mindfulness in what's going on, and it makes her suspect that there's something else going on. This is a leaf on the surface of the water that's showing that there's a much greater current at work here than what's actually being shown.
Stop living in your parents' shadow. Commit your own treason.
That's true. I should. I guess I got to kill my mom.
Wow. What
Take
a
over
statement.
take over the Yakuza.
Just want to say it's my mom's birthday today. So what a sentiment.
What a sentiment. That's the title of the episode.
I don't title these episodes.
Happy birthday, Mom. You're dead.
So if there's
Okay.
nothing else here tonight, I do want to cut to the next day. James, you have a series of messages for Hiro that are like invitations from the military governor to join him on an exercise soon. Like a mech exercise, just to be clear. Like he's going to field a lance and he would like you as an observer, and you can bring guests to sort of judge how his lance does versus local like militia defenders.
Yeah, so I think that like for a little while, Hiro has been sort of probably getting these sorts of just open offers and has been largely not ignoring them, but just like trying to consider how to approach this given his relationship with the current Baron. But given his current stance, he's going to suddenly reply back and say, "Yep, you know what? I would like to join, and I will invite my friends as well. We would very much appreciate an opportunity to observe and provide our thoughts on this exercise.
So about
Make it
an
as
hour
gracious as
later,
possible."
you receive a message indicating that military transport has been arranged for you from the nearby spaceport. They're going to send a heavy lifter to pick up your mechs and deliver you out into the field so that you can observe the thing. It's going to be in 3 days, so just to ready yourself. And you get like a secondary note that's directly from Brigadier General Hughes that just says something like, "Glad to have you on the team. Looking forward to seeing you soon."
How many people can we bring?
I don't think there's a number here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if you want to bring a bunch of people, that's
I just
sort
mean
of
there's
normal.
like between the three of us, we could field 6 mechs. We're not going into this conflict though. We are going
Right,
there to
you're
observe,
there to
so.
observe the fighting.
Yeah. So I think I'll just invite Akari and Siegfried. I won't worry about like our mech techs, other than like the minimum people required for us to operate our machinery in the field.
So I think your major mech techs can all come with you if you'd like to
Yeah.
make sure that you have someone to run the mech sort of deal.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring a bunch of Aztec teams with you. Technically you don't even need to bring a mech with you, although it sounds
Yeah,
like they've
okay.
arranged. If you
That's what I
need to
thought.
bring a mech with you, they've arranged transport for that.
We're up in like some box seats, right? Like with the fancy magnifying glasses on
I
the
mean,
stick.
you'll be in a
watching
command
a-
center observing
Yeah.
the exercise from like radar overlays and stuff like that.
Or we could observe them in the field in the mechs.
Yeah, you could observe from the field in the mechs.
All right. Well, I will extend the invite that we should. I'm going to be going. I'll invite the other two as well.
Yep, I happily accept.
I accept and begin trying to coordinate like what mechs are we bringing? How are we trying to show up? Do we
I don't
want?
think I'm planning on bringing a mech unless you tell me to bring a mech.
Oh, I
I'm
mean, I
letting-
think that the fact that we've been offered to bring mechs, I think it's like I'd rather bring it and not need it than
Okay.
not bring it and maybe need it. So I'm just going to bring the Kintaro along.
I will bring the Thunderbolt.
That's bringing a new one into the field.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring the crab. I'm kind of anxious to use it.
So we're going for sort of a medium heavy vibe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the last scene is like the 3 of your mechs being walked by your mech techs into the back of a enormous cargo plane, like the battle mech version of a C-130. As like the battle mechs have a way to walk up the ramp and like get locked into almost dropship style mech bay gantries, and then there's a much smaller ramp for like humans to use that has like gold and red carpeting where each step has like the dragon logo of the Draconis Combine. And when you get to the top of it, there's someone with like a towel and the head pillow and like big earphones and a little microphone coming off of it for you. And they've got you in like premium seating cabin in the front that also has like a little fold-out bed cot if you want it. And the captain has invited you to join him in like the bridge of this aircraft for hors d'oeuvres halfway through the flight. He's got you scheduled in for that if you'd like to have the captain's select hors d'oeuvres served at the white tablecloth.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like absolutely.
Kari's got really obnoxiously large sunglasses on, and they're photo sensing. So when she goes inside, they turn into obnoxiously large, just like regular glasses. And she's wearing like a very fashion forward like coveralls, kind of like short sleeve coveralls.
I've not seen those glasses in like 15 years. What happened to them?
I don't know.
They were everywhere for a while.
They seemed like such a good idea. I wasn't a glasses wearer at the time that they became very popular, but I still see them in the army every once in a while.
I assume you see a lot of things in the army.
I see a lot of things. Yes, I do. A lot of things.
What show was it where... Oh, I think it was Imperium Maleditum, where I was talking to Kane and Omar, and I was like, and the military officer says to the enlisted troops, okay, and don't get married to a hooker on the weekend.
Yeah. Here's your safety briefing. Don't add to the population. Don't subtract from the population. Don't go to jail. Have a good weekend.
Okinawa, mission failed.
Yeah. Your BAH is constantly under assault. Be vigilant.
All right, there we are. Season 2, Episode 1. We got through it. And next time, we're entering a realm of higher politics as we go to talk to Brigadier General Eisenhughes. See what plots exactly he has that require your services.
Oh my God.
How we feel about this episode? I feel like it was a lot of bits. I feel like
a lot of bits.
A lot of interconnected jokes.
Quality bits.
And
it was good.
It feels like, Rad, you definitely got the harshest end of
yeah.
A lot of bad
season?
things happening to you. Yeah.
I think so. I think it's good though. I like it. I'm enjoying it. And I also I don't mind. In fact, I encourage to be kind of put on, the B stage to let me kind of simmer in some of that consequence while we bring some other storylines to the forefront a little bit.
Well, season 1, it definitely felt like Siegfried got the worst of the storylines for sure. So that's how we know season 3 is going to be James's time to unshine.
I would like I don't know. I don't want to tell you. I'm sure you got plans, but I think it's cool when sometimes the Yakuza stuff is the undercurrent to the story instead of being in the forefront. Like, it's obviously a constantly moving piece that's going to influence everything. But I like that.
You're saying you'll get caught in the undertow?
Just
caught in the undertow?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Somewhere nearby.
Somewhere.
A giant robot turns into a truck. Well, with this great radio, any other thoughts about this episode?
No, I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah. I was curious to see where you were going to take it with the first episode of season 2, but I'm excited to see where we're going to end up.
I spent most of the week plotting the Yakuza attacking, and the first episode was literally just going to be defending the hotel from a Yakuza attack. And then I just determined that the setup was way too clunky, and I wasn't sure the audience would understand why the hotel was being attacked. And it started with Siegfried. My opening scene was Siegfried guns down a bunch of Yakuza getting out of vans and just kills dozens of people with an LRM barrage. And then the Yakuza attack, and I'm like, I'm not sure the Yakuza would keep attacking after dozens of people died, so I'm not sure this battle makes sense yet. I should probably set up for the battle to be the first big battle of the season a couple episodes in. So
Did Yakuza have access to battle mechs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd also
So-
say I don't think it would make sense for them to attack just yet, since we're just breaking ground. Like, what are they going to do? Blow up my dirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I assume that you have a bunch of resources nearby. You know what I mean? Like you're staging a bunch of pallets of materials, and I have to assume that if you attack an area and put a bunch of holes in the ground, it's a lot harder to build a foundation.
I don't know if you guys have played many of the more recent Call of Duty games, but they always seem to have some sort of novelty level, like the recent ones where you've sort of you have no weapons, so you've got to go around making one use weapons out of stuff in the environment to take out patrolling guys with machine guns, and never picking up their machine gun for some reason, and just keeping to make makeshift weapons, or one where your arm gets injured so you can't reload, so you got to keep picking up and you go every time.
Yeah.
I would like to see a level where you only have a t-shirt cannon to defend yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Just
Rad,
pieces of rebar instead of swords.
I think that the issue here is that when you're thinking of criminals, you think of like American gangsters, and what you need to be thinking of is Mexican gangsters. The ones where you see photos of them with like full on military APCs with 50 cals
Right.
and like full body armor, special forces, and someone's like, this is just a regular cartel hit squad.
Right. Cartel funded.
Yeah, in the Draconis Combine, the Yakuza are half the government.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I figured they would. I just wanted to clarify.
Like, when someone leaves the military, sometimes their gear goes missing, sort of deal, and those end up in the hands of the Yakuza. It's not like they have a massive shadow army, but in the same way that nuclear deterrence is deterrence, having the forces of a battle mech to call on is great. And, Yakuza have a ton of small arms weaponry.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matter of like up armoring Jeeps and shit like that. What's it we could call them back to in Twilight 2000? Toyota Hiluxes?
The Hilux. Yeah.
Hilux, yeah.
That's like the standard issue Yakuza that need to make a real serious splash response.
That's what I
team.
imagined when Andrew was like a flatbed truck. I was like, obviously it's a Hilux with an LRM on the back of it.
I was talking once to a police officer here. This is years ago now. They had a huge issue with people breaking in to Toyota pickups here because apparently they were being sold in the Middle East, but they were only being sold with the most basic package. And so gangs here were like breaking into Hiluxes or similar pickups to rip out the entertainment system and send them over to the Middle East so they could be installed in the basic package they had there.
Crazy. They were literally too nice for their customer base, so they had to jack them up.
Are we good for next week?
Yes, I am.
Let me check my calendar.
I'm good until further notice.
I've heard you say that before. Right around the same time you said, I'm going to have a lot more time available recently now that I'm looking for a new job. And then 2 days later you went, well, it turns out that was a fucking lie.
Yeah.
I
got a formal offer today, but I'm sitting on this one at the moment.
don't know.
Okay.
50-50 for me.
Just as a reminder for people, when this show started, I gave an explicit warning that we were kind of rad-centric. So you get episodes when Rad is available.
I don't know if it was recorded, but at least in the show preamble, I mentioned my wife is going on a vacation, a girls' trip, and she gets back on Thursday.
Okay.
So I anticipate she will want to spend time and debrief me on her trip on Thursday evening, or she might come home and immediately go to sleep, in which case I will be here. So that it'll probably be a game time decision. I hate to do that to everybody. I know, if you guys want to make other plans based on 50-50, please do. Don't hold out hope, but I won't be able to commit probably until day of. So if you want to go ahead and say no next week, then I completely understand.
Look, as long as if we can just try and keep ahead of where Blades of where Oath of Endosteel is up to, they can never retaliate because we'll be in the future for them.
Exactly.
Wow, what a plan.
This way, at the very least,
what if they
we'll
insist on a 1 year time skip so they end up 6 months ahead of you, and then they can lay plots in for the future? And now
At least
we've
we'll
started
know about
a chrono war.
Right? They'll have an episode.
Then
They'll
we'll
find
do
out
a
it's
Flash
Friday.
forward to when the
Yeah,
casino's finished.
Yeah, we'll put a 5-year time skip then, AP, just to.
I almost want to be there on Sunday, Arthur, just so I can listen to the show live, not even participate. Can I just be a fly on the wall?
That's so fucked up, dude.
And then when you're like, the house is on fire, in the background you're staring.
We'll talk, Brad. We'll talk.
All right.
It's a little weird, dude.
It is weird. I was just a joke, but
Was
I
it just
am
a joke?
excited to hear their reaction, though.
Eric Vulgaris is going to be pissed and also amazed, but he's going to be pissed.
I hope so. To a certain extent, it was for Eric. So
I genuinely think Sam's going to be like, wow, what a great plan. Now we shall get vengeance, sort of deal. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be like, masterstroke, definitely getting revenge.
that's why I'd love to have a plan to. I would love to be able to, maybe not now because I don't want them to hear it, but I want to tell you the plan before they come up with a retaliation, and hope that like I've anticipated it correctly, so it can seem like a master stroke of strategy. You know what I mean?
When you've anticipated their anticipation.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, you have like 4 days to come up with that plan that you think they're going to come up with.
I mean,
You're getting caught in the undertow. Just
What
caught
I
in the undertow.
all I need is Megan Fox leaning over a V8 to get my head right. My biggest,
I'm
what
sorry,
I anticipate
Rad. It's
happening.
10 years too late for that.
Yeah, it's true. I anticipate Sam just wanting to launch nuclear weapons at us. That's what I think his reaction will
Long
be.
shot call. Nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm pretty sure Sam will be like, we're going to make an example out of these dickheads.
Nothing says breaking the Geneva Convention or whatever the
Ares Convention.
Ares Convention, like launching nuclear weapons in a retaliatory strike.
I'm not saying it's, fiction accurate. I'm just saying I think that's what Sam will want to do.
Look, I think
Not that it'll happen.
If we can guarantee the final confrontation with the Oath of Endosteel team happens on the ocean, I think we've got the upper edge now.
Yeah,
With
that's what we
Lysander as a
need to
subcarrier.
do.
You fight
That's
on the back of the
1,000%.
Lysander submarine carrier as it's preparing to dive.
We absolutely need to leverage that submarine so that we can launch Arrow 4s onto the battlefield.
We just need to
I mean, we
maneuver one of
we just need it to target their dropship, so there's no escape.
Strand them here. They have to do a whole season of being on the run, undercover on Valentina.
Can you stop trying to ruin the big show that I have? The show that without this one wouldn't
Ruined,
exist.
sir?
You're like, oh, let's shoot them out of the air and trap them on the planet, so they have to do a whole season where we hunt them down and kill them. Ruin, you say?
Improve.
I just
would
want
say
to make their lives more difficult and change the way the
enhance,
game's played for them.
elevate.
The
second they're stuck on planet, I'm hiring a charger.
I think that Rad likes really fucking with other people.
Yeah, it's true. Listen,
It's been a rough
Eric
day on
flew
Discord
across
for
the
me.
galaxy to have his own arc and made the whole cast come and get him. Okay, they would absolutely be on board for being stranded stranded behind enemy lines.
That is true. He did fly to the other side of the galaxy. True enough.
Just so he could have his Bruce Wayne in Tibetan prison arc.
Wow. What an incredibly niche reference.
I do what I can.
You ever think about how in the episode 1 Pod Racer game, there is a stage that looks like that Tibetan prison?
I didn't give any thought to that game. I'm
Okay.
afraid.
I played a lot of it. I played a whole lot of it. What can I say? I like Saboba.
Jesus.
Hey.
And when Rad was in the Secret Star Wars game, they hired Saboba to be their tour guide.
That's right. He was just like a drunk loser at that point. Wasn't he?
Skywalker back before he was Darth Vader. Here's his house where I kept him enslaved with his mother. What can I say? I really like Saboba. He always wins.
He
Good
always
bet.
wins.
Except for that one time he lost.
I mean, it's implied that he lost his job after he lost one time, which is pretty harsh. That's real Ronda Rousey behavior right there. That's it. I think that's going to be this episode. Audience at home, if you're a member of Patreon, you get this a week early. Patreon members, you already know that you're getting this a week early. So thank you for your contributions, because we wouldn't be able to do the framework of a Battletech show around a bunch of comedy bits without you.
So if you're on Patreon, you'll see this episode before you see Oath of Endosteel,
Yes.
the upcoming episode. Mm.
Yes, but also regular people that are watching it timeline-wise will also see it in that order as well.
Oh. Mm.
Yep.
Because
I
it
have to
takes
find a
1
way to
week
mess
to
that
drop
up
as
for 'em.
well.
Okay.
Yep. We also know the Oath of Endosteel guys don't watch our show, so like,
Yes, we do know that.
don't spoil our plans.
Yeah. Don't betray us. We don't want another play by
Winner's
post
edge.
situation. Yeah,
You
winner's
could
edge
just say
situation.
winner's edge. It's okay.
I
I've let
didn't want to
I've
say
let the anger out of my heart.
The show that shall not be named.
I mean, I've started doing GM prep on stream again. So unless James tells me someone dropped a dime about all my plot lines, I'd say we're good for now.
Okay.
I don't know. Now he's checking his emails
Uh,
to see if someone from the show was like, James, this anonymous email finds you well, I hope. Here's all the plot lines from the next 2 seasons
Commander.
of Imperium Maledictum. Here's how to ignore Arthur Splatz. Okay, that's it. I'm hitting stop recording now.
All right.